This is the TEAC AI-101DA. Rolls off the tongue. And this is what I personally bought to personally use here on the temporary awesome ZLS gaming station of a million suns. And it's been powering my 530s. So it's no joke. I mean, I say that, and yet it's only 26 watts per channel. You know, the A2, the SMSL A2 for $85 claims 55 watts per channel with a ton of distortion. And this is only 26 watts, and it's still a Class D, and I can tell you from experience, when you push it hard enough, there's still distortion. So it's not the most powerful amplifier ever made, but at least it's expensive. What? Oh, yeah, this is not cheap. They occasionally pop up a mass drop for about $200, but if you don't get them a mass drop, you get them on Amazon, they're about $300. $300. Now, you can get, like I said, you could get a 5.1 receiver for that money. So why on earth would you buy this instead? Well, it's awesome, tiny, well made, has a remote control. This is basically the SMSL Q5 on crack. The good kind of crack. Let's run through the options. Headphone out, 3.5mm in the front. Already beating a lot of the other tiny, you know, soundbar killer amps. Power knob, listen. Knob feel guy would just let's shut it off. Input selector knob, which is so positive. That click is just click, 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 click. Your input choice LEDs here, of course in blue. USB, Bluetooth, optical 1, optical 2, line in. Down here, 2 more LEDs, up convert, and RC. And RC just means remote control. And here's your knob. Listen to your knob. You hear that thunk? That's metal stops. That's metal knob hitting metal stop. Nothing more satisfying than that. These little, they look like carry handles. Look at the little baby carry handles, cute. Are actually just to keep you from damaging the knobs. Pro gear has that usually, like big amps, crown stuff. So that when you put it down, if you rolled it onto its face to look at the back, you don't crush the knobs. So, does it need to be on something this small and this light? Probably not. All metal. Look at the back. Bluetooth antenna. I've actually never seen an exposed Bluetooth antenna. The line-in is a 3.5mm because they don't have the space for RCA. Here's your 2 opticals. Here's your full-size USB. Here's a subwoofer out that I will hook up to the rhythmic down there. And I will prefix right now, in case I forget to say it later, this subwoofer out is just like the subwoofer out on the $85 SMSL A2, where it doesn't actually cut off any frequencies, there's no options. It just sends whatever internal signal is being amplified, it sends it out in a mono version here. So this is good if you have a subwoofer like the BIC F12 that only has one RCA in. You don't have to split it, or though you could just use the, in other words, subwoofer out here is convenient, but you could just use the speaker wire pass-throughs on most subs, and here's your power, and well, that's the unit. Here's a remote, power. Now here's the thing. So it's got a digital remote. Obviously it's a digital remote. Analog remotes for children when they used to run over to the TV. Hit that. So you turn it on. Actually, let's plug it in and actually turn it on. Let's get it all going. I'm going to hook it up to my computer here, my laptop here. Do not use a hub. I've had a nightmare problems, not just with this, but with anything audio going into a hub. Is just don't do it. Just don't do it. I know you all love hubs and it makes everything nice and convenient. Just don't do it. Do drugs before you do hubs. Blinking because we're establishing connection. That might stop blinking if I play music. Hold on a second. Yes, okay. Once it's in other words, if the signal goes away, this will auto sleep. The blue lights will just blink like, hey, there's no signal. I've actually been using it on my 43-inch 4K here with fiber optic. So I've been feeding signal to my 4K stereo from my computer, and then outputting SPDIF out down to use it on this, just because it kept the USB out of the mix. And if you can, sometimes it's just so much better. I'm going to be using the line-in on the little Plano here. Plano D. I don't have anything optical except for my monitor there and Chromecast, so we're going to leave those out. But I can Bluetooth with my phone. I think I can. Let's see, let's get everything going. Alright, first things first. Hook up speakers. I guess I should have paused that. Or lowered the volume, or both. Don't do what I just did. Bad news. Bad news bears. I'm just destroying my Stax amp with that noise. Okay. Power's on, USB set. Infinity to 0, and it goes 70, 65, 58, 49, 40, 33, 29, 26, 22, 20, 17, 14, 11, 9, 6, 4, 2, 1, 0.2, and 0. So that's actually an accurate decibel rating knob, which is super fucking weird and strange. I love it. I love super weird, strange, and I love it. Now, as far as cleanliness of amplifiers go, I have no problem with the SMSL stuff. It's great. I have no problem with this. It's great. Is it better? I don't know. I kind of don't want to think it is, but I don't know. It's only 26 watts. Only 26 watts per channel, where everything else is way more watts per channel. So it pushes my 530s right here in a desk. I can annoy the shit out of everyone in the fucking apartment. And it pushes these Bouchard S300s. So I'm pause that. Something a little hardcore. Can you distort it? Absolutely. Those are the hardest speakers I have to drive. Why they're not here is because, well, screw you. And I have pushed this amp to 0 basically, and I've heard distortion out of the speakers. So it's like, oh, it can't do it. It's not. I mean, whether you pay $200 or $300 or anything in between, it's definitely good enough for a desk. It's good enough for my desk. God, it's so clean. Alright, that was like at 14 shown, so that's loud. Let's switch inputs. Line. I have this lowered. Hold on. Where is it? Come on. Michael Jackson. God, I'm going to pause. This is a very good amplifier. It's only 26 watts and it's expensive. But it has features. Now here's the thing. It's a physical volume knob and it's a physical power knob. So if I hit power, it's off, even though it's on, but it's off. And my computer just went, fuck happened? It's not here. But I could turn it back on. If you shut it off, can't do anything. So that's like a main power switch. Now it's got individual buttons for every input. So if you want to do USB, you do USB. Did I freak it out? Yeah, I freaked it out. Give it a second. Come on. I may have to unplug it and plug it back in. My bad. My bad. But anyway, you've got USB, Bluetooth, optical 1, optical 2 line. And then down here, it says CD. Because TEAC sells a CD companion for this, which I'm going to guarantee 97% of you are not interested in any CD player ever again. Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. Alright, so now the computer's playing. And... God, I wish I just fucking... Why? So here's the deal. CD player, right? Okay, great. So we could do volume. So even though the volume's all the way down here to infinity, I could raise the volume. Remote control blinks. Alright. And if I touch this, it overwrites. So you could turn this all the way up and then lower it and raise it. And then if you soon as you touch this, it's going to go back to wherever it was. Or you could keep this all the way down and then just raise it up with the remote control. I'll switch to the line in. Let's switch to the Bluetooth. Now that'll blink, indicating that it's broadcasting Bluetooth. What's it saying? Connecting already, because I already did this once. Connected. So we're automatically connected to the TEAC. Let's put on some... Soak up the sun. Oh, god damn it. Soak up the sun. Michael Jackson again. It's all Michael Jackson. Now. So now this is playing full volume. I could raise the volume here. I'll just do it faster here. That is so sweet. I mean, sharp. I mean, delicious. So I've got my player. Got my Bluetooth. Got my computer. And if I had 2 fiber optic sources, a Chromecast, game console, cable box, smart TV output, fucking all of it. Fuck all of it in here. And then hook up a sub out. So let's hook up to the sub out. This is a stretch. I blame no one but you. All. So now, are we on USB? Okay. So now the rhythmic is involved. That rhythmic 15, which is camouflaged here. No one knows what that is. It's just a black box. So I put this up. Oh, Jesus God. Police are coming now. Now, there's no way to control how much is output to the sub, so you've got to do that on the back of the sub, which is why I keep this involved. If you watch the review of the shit sis here, you know how I had this wired was set up over there, wire out of there, into this, with the volume knob, down to the sub, and then it was splitting off. So, I mean, it's gonna only be as balanced as you adjust it to be balanced, but then this controls what output to the sub. And then you're good. Now, on a desk like I'm using it, I really don't need a remote. But you pop this in the living room. You've got one of those beautiful homes that doesn't want a receiver sitting there. And even the Marantz flat receivers are just too big for you. There you go. It's gorgeous. And you know what? It's the bottom of the line. This is the bottom of the line. Did the tab stay open? Oh, you have to install a USB driver, right? I had to install it to play it on the laptop here. And I've had to look for SMSL drivers for some things, and the Mica Origin need to drive, and it's always a fucking nightmare. You know how you find the driver for the TEAC 101? You go to Google, you type TEAC 101 driver. First result, this page, Windows driver. You click it, the EXE is named Windows driver for AI-101DA.exe. How much easier than that do you want? That's, oh God. Donation money, please. Where's the actual unit? All right, here it is on Amazon right now for $300. Is it worth $300? It sort of is. It's basically it's a 2.1 receiver with a headphone out, which by the way I'll do the headphone out. And I keep using my Fostex as the dummy pair for this. It's only a 3.5mm, and it's not like the Focus is that it has a headphone out. you know what? That's more powerful a headphone out than the SA-160 had. And it's clean. Oh, it's so fucking clean. Oh, the low end. And obviously if you unplug it, then everybody knows you've unplugged your headphones. It's an all-in-one solution for desk or living room. I can't think of another unit that you could just buy and, okay, I want to use it on my computer desk for headphones and these sources and the good speakers. Or, now I want to put it in my living room with, towers. I wouldn't do towers on this, although towers are more efficient usually. So 26 watts might not hurt. I mean, I'm pushing these Bouchards, and I'm pushing the 530s, and you can get to distortion if you're an idiot, which I am. But you don't have to get to distortion. It could just be like, oh, just... it's amazing. It's amazing. You want to see the bigger ones? They have bigger ones. The 301, 60 watts per channel. So this, and $400. So if you're thinking about this for $300, why not think about that one for $400? And it's USB, DAC, full-size 1/4-inch headphone out. Does it have a remote? Got a remote? It's bigger than this. They make the exact same feature-filled thing bigger, $100 more. And I think they go even bigger than that. And they've got such... TEAC is just blowing my mind. Because TEAC and Tascam are the same company. Tascam is the pro line for TEAC, and TEAC is like the fancy, could you get more modern and beautiful than that? I mean, other than the fucking blue? That's what people need. Now they need the blue. So, I love it. I do. Do you need it? Who cares? Back to my phone, which is Bluetooth. Phone, computer, come on, and nothing else. Now, one quick thing before I'm finishing with this. There's settings, which does nothing because there's no screen. Obviously, that's for part of the other units you could add on to this, which I'm not seeing any of those. But, so settings does nothing. Up convert, which will take, I think that's the kilohertz. So if you're feeding at 44.1, it'll up convert to 192, which is what this will handle. Oh, God. You hit it, light comes on. I honestly, I can't tell you if the up conversion is going to help you. A lot of the time it's just sort of like it doesn't need to be there. Then there's this loudness button. So we hit the loudness button. And you definitely hear a V shape come up. More bass, more treble. And we hit it again and it goes away, I think. That's the thing, I think. There's no indicator to say if loudness is on or not. So you might hit it, forget about it, and then loudness is on. All of a sudden your shit sounds bassy and trebly. Like, what's going on? So be careful with the loudness button. Know where you have it. Display does nothing. Shuffle does nothing. All these beautiful media keys that, since this is USB, should control my foobar. I should be able to hit a button and next track, and it just doesn't. And why don't you do that? It would be amazing. It would be amazing, but it's for the CD. It's for the CD player. I don't know if shuffle and repeat would do anything, but what you could do, I'll put a link to this thing. It's called the FLIRC, F-L-I-R-C. And what that does, it's an infrared receiver, which you put on your computer. And then you could assign any remote control to do any function. So you install that, make sure it's visible, and then you tell it, you open up the program on the FLIRC, and it's like, all right, media keys, next track. Press whatever remote control in the fucking world you want to control that. Boom. And because this is outputting a signal, and you can't see it, but it is. And then it'll be that. Then this will be perfect. I mean, you could use an old VCR remote and just control your computer with a FLIRC. Which I was going to give that a full review, but it's such a small little thing, and maybe I could probably talk about that for like 3 hours. Anyway, TEAC AI-101DA. It's just solid. It's a solid piece. It has everything I want. The issues with audio latency. People were saying audio latency on USB on Windows 10. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't have a Windows 10 machine here to check. I don't notice anything on my Windows 7 or Windows 8.1. God, it's gorgeous. So if you want to know what Zeos uses on his desk, it's this. Patreon link in the corner. Wallpaper download in the description, as always.